Need to wager that there's a spot in this universe that is so horrible you'd prefer not to know it. This spot is terrifying. It's a tremendous void, desolate, and a secret to science. We should go on an imaginary excursion through the designs of the universe together. We start on Earth, our natural home planet. Our spaceship takes off and leaves the planetary group, passing natural planets, for example, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. Toward the finish of the heliosphere, we enter the interstellar medium, leaving the nearby planet group a long ways behind us. Our venture takes us further into the amazing region of our cosmic system, the Milky Way. Here we find stars in unfathomable numbers, some of which have renowned names, for example, Alpha Centauri or Sirius. We cross elegant nebulae, experience strange black holes, and witness the introduction of stars far beyond our system. We perceive further groups of stars. We see the Andromeda Galaxy, the Little and Big Magellanic Clouds, and other galaxies endlessly further away. We would perceive a huge bunch of galaxies known as the Virgo cluster. Here, many cosmic systems are associated by gravity. We see how galaxies impact each other, attract, repulse, and sometimes converge in an intriguing infinite dance. The Virgo cluster is home to more than 1,300 galaxies and is an amazing illustration of the size and variety of structures in the universe. Our excursion proceeds to a supercluster of galaxies, the Virgo group, of which our Milky Way is itself just a small piece of the Shapley supergroup. This gigantic organization of galaxy groups is associated by imperceptible strings of dark matter. There are many galaxy groups in the Shapley supergroup, which comprises several million galaxies. We perceive structures, the fibers by which galaxies and galaxy groups situate themselves, and then we fly endlessly further to perceive a puzzling region of the universe, a nothingness of such tremendous aspects that it blows our mind. It is as if we are investigating the maw of the universe, where a second prior, light in the dance of vivid galaxies enchanted our eyes, a threatening obscurity now lingers. Space experts allude to this secretive structure as the Dipole Repeller. This unfilled space in space strangely impacts the development of worlds and probably contributes to the accelerated expansion of the universe. The specific nature and capability of this area have not yet been adequately explored. However, specialists suspect that the Dipole Repeller behaves like an imperceptible, inestimable guide and makes a definitive contribution to the soundness of the universe. The possibility of the Dipole Repeller was conceived in 2017 when a gathering of cosmologists, led by Yehuda Hoffman, proposed that this construction could be one of the principal activators of the universe. In view of information from the 2-mass redshift survey and the Cosmic Flows 3 catalog, cosmologists have gone through years investigating the underpinnings of the structure of our known universe. These two investigations have spent years analyzing the distribution and movements of galaxies in the purported cosmic flow pattern. The 2-mass redshift survey has recorded the spectral light shift of millions of galaxies. With the assistance of the light shift, cosmologists can determine the distance and speed of galaxies in space. Galaxies that are receding from us increasingly shift into the red tone range. Galaxies moving towards us become somewhat blue. The Cosmic Flows 3 inventory manages the investigation and circulation of galaxies in our huge neighborhood. Data from this inventory abstractly depicts the development of galaxies, leading to designs of our universe that show streams and communications between enormous structures like the Great Attractor and the Dipole Repeller. The Great Attractor lies toward the focal point of the alleged Hydra Centaurus supercluster. The Great Attractor is probably a colossal and gigantic locale in the universe that likewise impacts the development of galaxies in its area. While the gravity of the attractor draws in galaxies, the Dipole Repeller repulses them. You could likewise say that the attractor and repeller carry on like an infinite vortex. The collaboration of the two prompts complex patterns of developments of galaxies in the universe as we know it. We presently know that everything in the universe comprises of stream and steady development. The specific job of the attractor and repeller are still a mystery to scientists, and more importantly, questions remain regarding whether these two are the biggest designs or if there are considerably larger units. If you look at these maps of the structure of the universe, you will find another inconceivable truth: the designs look like a living element. The shapes are suggestive of a mind or even the little bones and the snail in the ear. Pictures like these raise questions such as whether our universe is maybe something like a massive living being. After all, are we perhaps something in the universe like the mitochondria in the cells of our bodies? It will likely be hundreds of years or centuries before we have tracked down all the answers to these inquiries. So far, attractors and repellers are pure concepts of cosmology. No one has seen these designs yet. It's very logical that they are there, and researchers describe the dipole repeller as unnerving to the point that you would never want to go there, regardless of whether you had a spaceship with a warp drive. Desolate, forlorn, and puzzling, the dipole repeller is a truly startling and dim area of the universe. In this puzzling zone, galaxies appear to be repulsed by an undetectable and horrendous power. But what is this power? What has the gigantic capacity to drive whole galaxy superclusters away from itself, and why does everything in the universe appear to have a secretive reason? The possibility of a spooky and practically vacant domain in the universe that is continually driving galaxies into the boundless breadth gives us unsolvable riddles. Anyone who observes the demise of the galaxies perceives that nearly everything in the universe is seeking community. However, the dipole repeller is a puzzling exception. What other purpose does this eerie obscuration serve? What is inside it, and is there a more definitive justification for why this area is driving galaxies from itself? Like the no less strange voids, something seems to be happening in this space that is beyond our comprehension. Our understanding and our actual amounts are coming to an impervious limit. Huge voids without another aspect, the dipole repeller is still a purely cosmological concept, yet voids have long been a proven and noticed truth. Voids are also colossal districts in the universe in which the dispersion of galaxies and matter is vanishingly little compared to their normal density. Anyway, specialists suspect that voids just seem to be void. There are a couple of galaxies in them. These are so lonely that scientists who live in them likely thought for quite a while that they were the only galaxy in an immense void. The distances between the matter and the great voids are unbelievable. Measurements have shown that these districts have a low density, and the enormous voids are probably direct results of the huge pack. Voids were first found during the 1970s by cosmologists observing the distribution of galaxies in the universe. They took note of locales in which galaxies were totally missing or, without a doubt, faintly distributed. The most popular of these is the Boötes void, named after the heavenly body of the same name. Scientists now know of many other voids, the largest of which are supervoids that extend over many millions of light years. Voids could be a key to understanding and interpreting dark energy and are currently being studied seriously. Past research has uncovered such bizarre things about the voids that analysts have thought of the most insane ideas. Voids could subsequently also be something like scar tissue in the astronomical web. Analysts have determined that equal universes may have crashed at these points. This would imply that we live in a multiverse after all, or that voids are gateways to other aspects. There are much more fascinating hypotheses suggesting voids may not be unfilled by any means. Some researchers hypothesize that advanced developments might be working in these dark spots overhead, able to overshadow whole galaxies to tackle their energy for their own purposes. The ideas driving this speculation go back to the Russian scientist Nikolai Kardashev, who proposed during the 1940s that superintelligence evolving over the centuries could one day build gigantic power plants around galaxies, causing them to vanish to our eyes. Of course, these speculations are pure hypothesis, but they demonstrate how these immense designs are pushing our science to its limits. Space experts and cosmologists are desperately looking for answers, utilizing every available source. What role do dark matter and dark energy play? It sounds mind-boggling, but it's real. The whole cosmological models we have shared with you depend on the suspicion of two forces that nobody has truly seen or measured. Although dark matter and dark energy are invisible, their presence has been confirmed by numerous observations. Dark matter applies a gravitational force that impacts the apparent matter in galaxies and galaxy groups. In fact, dark matter is thought to make up most of the matter in the universe and forms the foundational structure for the arrangement of galaxies and astronomical fibers. The gravitational attraction of dark matter pulls galaxies and galaxy groups together and permits the development of the monster structures we have introduced to you. Dark energy is another mysterious peculiarity that acts as a sort of counterforce in the universe. In addition to other things, it causes the accelerated development of the universe and makes galaxies create some distance from each other on enormous astronomical scales. We experience this accelerated development and dark energy in the dipole repellers and also in the voids. These flows in the universe are impacted by both the attraction of dark matter and the aversion of dark energy. The thought that dark energy speeds up the development of the universe and thus moves galaxies from it in specific locales is even an essential presumption to make sense of the dipole repeller, the voids, and the enormous void districts in the universe. They are also the aftereffect of the complex relationship between dark matter and dark energy. The gravitational attraction of dark matter leads to the development of the huge voids, while the expansive forces of dark energy assist voids with extending and becoming progressively vacant. Despite their imperceptibility, these baffling powers are of critical significance for the improvement and destiny of the universe. Whoever one day prevails in unraveling dark matter and dark energy will also succeed in sorting out the inestimable riddle, and maybe one day we will actually be able to make sense of where all the wonder and beauty of the universe comes from and what powers are behind this awesome creation. Press the subscribe button, since there are a lot more features to come.